Okay. All right. Well, today we're talking about grading. I'm here with a student of mine, and we actually just met. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Faith Miles. I'm in my second year up at CSU. My major is biomedical sciences, and I took this language arts course over the summer.
Yeah, it was CO 150, and it was online. That's why we've just met. But I wanted to ask Faith about some of the elements of my grading. I used a grading contract in this course, and so what that meant is that for the online course, uh, if you turn in everything according to instructions and on time, pretty much you're getting an A at that point. Um, the final reflection letter you wrote for the final assignment, you said some really great things. It's a really well written, really comprehensive, reflective piece of writing. You really just hit all kinds of different points, and it was a pleasure to read this. So I want to ask you about some things you said here, and if you could just explain them, that would be awesome. So you wrote, I'm the type of student who strives to be an overachiever, so grades have always been an incredible stressor in my life. Can you talk about that, Faith?
So I strive for a 4.0. I got it in middle school, I got it in high school, I currently have it in my undergrad years so far, and I strive for high A's, high percentages. If I have like a 91%, I freak out a little bit. It's just something that I pride myself on, just getting good grades.
Mhm.
But I feel like this semester I was able to learn more without feeling stressed about a grade being tied to my work for each assignment.
Do you think when there's more stress, it makes more learning less possible?
Yes, definitely. I feel like I'm doing just enough to get through the semester, just memorizing as much as I can.
Hmm.
Where if there's not a grade tied to it, I'm more focused on just enjoying learning.
Okay. Um, Then another thing you said is when I read the grading policy for this course, I felt anxious about not receiving percentage grades for each assignment. Can you tell us about that feeling?
I did feel anxious because I was unsure what my grade would be, and I've never experienced this grading scale before, so it just seemed very foreign and scary to me.
Absolutely. Um, then you say, however, something interesting happened to my mindset this semester without a traditional grading scale. I was not ashamed of making mistakes. It showed me that not all my assignments need to be perfect, but I do need to show engagement and determination for growth. I feel like you kind of already hit on that, but is there anything else you'd like to add about that?
Um, just again, I think that this helped me really be engaged in my learning and encourage me to grow from each assignment rather than the first assignment saying, oh, this isn't what I'm looking for. Instead, you said, this is a good start, but this is what we can grow on.
Okay. Um, Yeah, which interestingly, Faith, is something I have done throughout my whole career. I also put a grade next to that. I tend to say the similar things. Do you think it
Yeah,
would have impacted the way you read that feedback if it had like an 89 next to it or something?
definitely. Definitely.
What would that have done
It
to your
would have,
grading?
I just feel like it would have been like, oh, this is not good enough at all. I don't know, like, what I want, like, what I should fix from here. And it
Oh,
just makes me feel, I don't know. It just kind of makes me feel like what I was writing would be inadequate if there was like a grade tied to it.
that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Unlike other courses, I did not experience stress related to this course. Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. The first day, the first assignment that I got where I got a check mark, I was like, what the heck is going on? I was so confused.
Yeah.
I like ran to my mom. I was like, I don't know what this means.
Mhm.
But then after I would turn in like each assignment and I read the grading policy more, I felt
Mm.
a lot of stress.
So not knowing what the check mark meant made you go back and go, I got to reread this grading policy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, is there anything I could have done better to make sure that everybody understood the grading policy and didn't have to run to somebody and ask them what this means?
I rarely read syllabuses. I know that's horrible, but I am not good at reading syllabuses. But I think maybe sending out a message at the beginning of the school year, well, the semester would help.
Right,
Because
right.
I read the messages, but I skip over the syllabus all
Yeah.
the time.
I mean, that's one reason I had everybody read the Alfie Kohn piece from degrading to degrading.
Yeah,
But that didn't specifically say that I was going to be doing that. So yeah, I'm always looking for more ways to keep students understanding because it's so new that
yeah,
it does make people anxious at the beginning, and so you have to keep explaining it, which is hard in an online course.
yeah, definitely.
Here's an interesting piece. Applying this to other classes will be difficult because they use traditional grading skills. However, I have a better understanding of the learning process. When I make mistakes in other classes, I can now look at them as a learning opportunity. Having this mindset will help me stress less over grades and truly enjoy my classes. Um, so yeah, you're right. They won't probably be using this grading strategy in their classes. You, you, are you saying there that you've learned something through this grading strategy that you can apply to other classes, even though they won't be using it?
Yes, I feel like during this course, I did not stress about my grade as much, and I really just dove into like the learning process about making mistakes and just growing from them. And I feel like if I take that mindset into my other courses, no matter what percentage grade I'm receiving, I can just embrace that I'm making mistakes and I can learn from them.
Well said. This is probably, I wrote back to you in my feedback on your final assignment. This was my favorite part. You said not only did this feedback, you were talking about the instructor's feedback and how I recommended things, right? To
Hmm.
change or do differently. And you say, not only did this feedback help me articulate my thoughts in the essay, but I saw it impacting my life outside of this class as well. I work as an EMT. As an EMT, many of my coworkers have more education than me. I typically keep to myself because I'm used to my ideas being ignored. In the last 8 weeks, I've noticed that I've been voicing my ideas more at work. I believe that contributing to conversations at work benefits my patients' outcomes and experiences. The feedback from the peer and instructor showed me that my ideas deserve to be heard. This feedback made me feel empowered to embrace my ideas and share them with others. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, in some of your comments, you said that really embrace your thought process and make the essay kind of your own, because that's what the purpose of the essay is, to articulate your own thoughts and not other people's thoughts, which is hard because I'm a very this is right, this is wrong kind of person. Like the gray area, I typically don't go into, but that's was the purpose of this essay.
Mhm.
And really embracing my thoughts in this essay made me feel confident to voice my own thoughts in other aspects of my life.
Yeah, so for the viewer, the essay was an evolving question essay where you started with a source and you asked a question about it, and then you used that question to go find another source, and then you repeated that process over and over. And so I was asking that students articulate their thought process. What about this source made you want to go find out new information? And um, kind of like a literature review or an annotated bibliography, but one in which all the sources are connected by the student's own curiosity. And would you say it was that assignment or the feedback I gave you on that assignment that made you feel like your ideas deserve to be heard, or was it
I,
both?
I think it was both, yeah, because in the initial assignment, I didn't say these are my thoughts. I didn't use like I. I used like we instead. So hearing your comments, well, reading your comments made me understand the assignment more and understand that my ideas deserve to be heard, especially in this assignment, this essay.
I feel like I'm repeating a question I've already asked you, but if there had been a number grade and like maybe a B plus on that, um, how would that have influenced the thought that occurred to you, which was my ideas deserve to be heard? Would that B plus have impacted that in any way?
Yeah, I feel like whenever there's like a percentage grade tied to it, I start freaking out when it's like below 95%. And then I don't ignore the comments, but it makes me feel anxious about the comments, like kind of overrides what the comments are saying and makes me feel like, oh, this isn't good. This is not good.
Great. Thank you, Faith. I want to be respectful of your time. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your experience in CO 150 with a grading contract?
I think overall, like for comp classes in your department, I think this is a great way to help students grow in their writing. I feel like this grading scale wouldn't work in some other like departments, but I think it would work great in composition. I know my major is in comp, but I think that this made me feel more confident in my writing. I'm not a type of person that enjoys writing things, but I really enjoyed writing the EQD this semester.
That's great. And your major is what now?
Biomedical sciences, so
Okay.
yeah,
There'll
more
probably
in
be,
the department, yeah.
what's that?
More in like the science department.
Yep, there's we teach science writing courses here at CSU. So when you go to take CO 300, you can take a writing course in the sciences in the English department. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I know there's a lot of reading and writing in the sciences, and there's rhetoric in the sciences, and your ideas deserve to be heard in the sciences, right? Um, what's your favorite course that you're looking forward to in the fall?
That's hard. Um, Probably medical terminology or genetics. Yeah.
Whoa, those sound great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Organic chemistry, not so much.
Oh, I've heard that's a little scary.
Thank
I'm sure you'll do great. Hey, Faith, thank you so much for talking to us.
you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay.